So the fretboard can be kind of confusing to learn. So I built the Fretboard Companion. If you are an advanced player, I'm sure you're going to find something cool that this will help you with in your playing. And if you're a beginning to intermediate player, we're going to talk also about how this can be a really great shortcut to start learning the fretboard and something with which you can grow. So what we can do here is choose a key. If you come to this site, this is available right now on 6tuningpegs.com, I should mention. Oh, I also wanted to mention, it is not designed to be seen on a mobile device. There's too much information here for it to work on this interface, and I don't want it to be something through which you will scroll. I want it to be something that you'll sit down and use to practice. It will look good on an iPad, but again, it looks better in landscape than it does in portrait. So now that that's out of the way, if you go to 6tuningpegs.com and you click on Fretboard Companion, you'll be greeted with this page. It allows you to choose a key. So let's choose D major and B minor. And we can see there that it remapped the fret map. And these notes are highlighted or highlight. We'll talk about that in a second. Not what the past tense of highlight is, but we'll talk about the highlighting in a second. It also gives me a bunch of chords, many of which are not in open position, that are in this key. So we've got a bunch of information here and kind of a platform to start building with or learning the key. So let's talk about if you are a beginning player, and we'll get to the kind of more advanced players, how you can use this. If you're a beginning player, one of the best things you can do is go down to the jam along. If there's a jam along video embedded, just hit play, come up and start playing along with the fretboard. I was just learning a single string first. So that's a basic way to kind of get started with it. If you want to really practice your scales and stuff in here, I think this is a great way to start, but I would stay on a single string while you're still learning the fretboard and how the notes relate to one another. If you're an advanced player, this was actually really surprising to me when I put this thing together. It unlocked some shapes for me that I wasn't really used to using. So for example, here between the 5th and 7th fret, vertically, as the kind of boxes we tend to learn in, like the pentatonic or Ionian, those types of boxes, different ones started showing up. So here between the 5th and the 7th fret, looks like this. I never would normally play that pattern, but I started thinking of these 2 notes per string boxes as alternatives to the pentatonic. It's very close to the pentatonic, but even if I go down to the 2nd to the 4th, that's a very interesting set of notes, and it keeps me from playing linearly through the scales like I tend to do. Not everyone does, but it forces me to jump some intervals that I wouldn't normally do. And it opens up some fun fingerings. Really got me to think of, or even just kind of stop thinking and be able to play a little bit more, which is super helpful. Let's take a look at the chords down below. Because if I've got my looper, which I do, and I know I'm playing, you know what, let's use a different key. Let's go to F major and D minor. We'll stick with D. And I know I'm going to just kind of practice my scales and my phrasing or whatever in this key. I might choose to play F major and D minor and just loop through them. Now, totally passable backing track. Totally passing backing track. And I can use the Fretboard Companion. Actually, let's try another one of those shapes. Let's say from the 5th to the 7th fret here. Yeah, I normally wouldn't have played that shape, and it really does give me some new options on the guitar. So what we can also do now, especially with the looper pedal, if we got that going, is say, well, I'm playing F major and D minor. So let's try to find some F majors and D minors in these chords. I don't actually see any right now, which is wild. So I can hit shuffle chords and it'll give me a whole different row. Let's see, here's a D minor 7 on the 10th fret. I think that's actually a D minor 9. I need to rename that in the code. These are the kinds of bugs I'm trying to find right now while I'm putting this out there. Yeah, on the 10th fret though, that looks right. I like that chord, so I'm going to go ahead and keep that by locking it in place. Then I'm going to keep looking to see if I can find a good F major. We'll keep, here's an F major on the 13th fret. That's pretty cool. I'm going to lock that in place. Let's see if we can find another one of either of them. Here's D minor. That's almost the same as what we're playing now. I don't like it that much. And we'll just keep looking for maybe another F major. And that's the bar chord here. Let's just stick with these two. Well, here's another one. What sounds better? That to that? Probably, I think the original one. So I'm just going to play those on top of the loop, but I'll try arpeggiating them. And it's just a way to be able to think of new ways to add texture to your playing. Now I've got a new bed and something pretty cool that I can play with. So there's just some ideas and the basics of how you could use the Fretboard Companion. It's available now on 6tuningpegs.com. Again, it's only in beta. I'm still working on it. I'm hoping to get the next feature available by August, which is the same time I will be releasing an exclusive PDF of movable chords on the fretboard to the email list. So go to 6tuningpegs.com, sign up on the email list, try out the Fretboard Companion, and hopefully you find it helpful. And I hope if I get enough feedback and things are working well, to have the second feature, or I guess the second new feature, and be at 1.0. I hope to have all of that by October. So yeah, check out 6tuningpegs.com, sign up on the email list for all the news, and I hope to hear from you. And I really hope that this is helpful. Cheers.